Out the time. As you're aware that we today's session is in continuous. I mean, we've done several sessions so far, and the recent one we started was on cyber security, and it is in continuation to that. We did recently one which is on cyber resiliency, and as part of that cyber resiliency itself, we thought that we should delve more into details and create several sessions on that. So today's session is about the operational technology, the security risks there, and what we need to do on that side. To begin with, could you please help our viewers understand the fundamental difference between OT and IT security, as
Sure.
well as ongoing convergence somewhere? Where do they converge? So that sets a context for the viewers that what we are discussing here, please.
Sure.
OT.
Sure. Thank you, Vinod, for this opportunity. And it's really a good opportunity for me to connect with multiple people to explain what is OT security and how does it differ from IT. So
Our
fundamental
pleasure.
difference, if you see, we all know about IT, which is IT network is nothing but a group of computers interconnected together to exchange data between the devices. When you come to OT, operation technology, it's a plant environment or industrial environment where there would be a lot of sensors, control devices, control units that would be interconnected within a network using network components, and then that would have a SCADA system to entirely monitor the overall plant. So the purpose of that network is to have to improve the efficiency or to monitor the entire plant. So that network, we call it as operation technology network, and which is definitely different from IT because IT is only computers, but here not just computers, but also industrial devices. So the industrial devices supports multiple industrial protocols, and the network itself, it has multiple heterogeneous devices. So this is how IT and OT is entirely different. So I think it is clear to you, right?
Yeah. So, if we look at how do cyber attacks typically differ in their impact and the execution between OT and IT
Okay.
environments?
Yeah, if you see a cyber attack in IT, the consequences would be a loss of data and then followed by monetary loss. So that is the major consequences happening in the IT cyber attack. When it comes to OT, it is not just like IT sector where monetary and data loss, but beyond that, it has consequences like safety of the people, the production impact. Let's think of a situation, an enemy, the nearby country for us who thinks us as an enemy. If they are taking a control of a nuclear plant, which is in India, let's think a situation how what will happen. So they may take an entire nuclear plant under their control, and it is the safety of the people. The consequences would be safety of the people. Similarly, if somebody is taking hackers are taking the control of an oil and gas plant, it's not just monetary loss, but it also has consequences like a shortage of fuels and then economic downturn. Getting the plant into regular operations may take multiple days also to come back. So that will have serious consequences. So OT cyber attack is not like just IT cyber attack where monetary loss, but it has impacts consequences beyond monetary value like a safety of the people, production. It may lead to entire downtown of a country. So this is how OT is much more critical than IT sector.
Kind of revenge and a terrorist act also could be, I
Yes, if
think.
you see the current situation, this can be easily mapped to such kind of situation. So definitely, any country who has nearby countries who are trying to hack, like Ukraine and Russia, there are a lot of examples I can say like that. So it is definitely cyber attack in OT has much critical and much more consequences than IT cyber.
Okay. So, I mean, if we look at typically, if I see some of the, I have analyzed some of the requests for proposals which come from some utilities, and typically they are the targets globally for countries who want to go again, bring down your power infrastructure at times. Now there are smart metering rollouts, there are grid automations, there is these sewage treatment plants or water treatment plants. Uh, Now, typically, I don't think on the OT side, their RFPs talk a lot about cybersecurity on that side, but on the IT side, the stack which goes typically on the IT cybersecurity side, it does mention all sort of products which can go there. Now, what is the key challenge preventing that direct application of an IT cybersecurity solution within an OT environment? So why can't a typical cybersecurity solution fit in that OT environment?
Uh, Okay, so if you consider an OT environment, as I said, there would be a heterogeneous environment. Like most of the devices, OT devices were deployed maybe 20 years back or more than that, 15, 20 years back. And those devices might be talking in different protocols. Protocol, I mean, it might be a communicable language between the devices. So the current IT solutions, what is in the market, even couple of years back, whatever was developed, it was developed keeping IT sector in mind, like only the computers and network components. They did not think about the other sensors or the OT devices, control units would be in impact. So they just thought only the computers, computer related networks, and then the related protocols. So they made the solution specific to IT sector in mind. So when you put these solutions into an OT environment, yes, the computers already in the OT environment would be compatible and it would have it will not have much issues. But whereas the other devices which were implemented 20 years back, or even recent OT devices like control unit sensors and other devices, the issues would be one thing, it will not be compatible with the IT solutions, and it will have like a mismatched outcomes, false positives, and then complexities like IT solutions. They don't understand the operational requirements. They don't understand the operational context. So they just block some of the events, operational events, thinking that this is our cyber attacks. And also in the other way also, IT solutions which were developed for IT will not even consider some of the OT contexts, and the risk will be either it will block the operations, the regular operations of the OT environment, or it may ignore, which is really it might be a threat, but it may ignore. So such kind of compatibility issues, complexities would be there when you converge IT, when you put IT solutions into an OT environment. So this is why we emphasize to put OT specific solutions, which is compatible with most of the industrial protocols and then industrial devices. That would be also compatible with the IT devices like computers and network components in the networks. So that's some
So,
major challenges.
I'm sure you would be in discussion with a lot of customers in India and outside India. And can you give with some example that certain use cases where we can explain prioritization of mitigating the OT side risks and with some specific examples without naming the customers here.
Okay. I can give some live example where cyber attack happened in the past. I'll start with the very recent one within India. Uh, if you see, I think that is Uttar Pradesh Power Nigam Limited. It was not a cyber attack to their entire network, but some hackers they try to disable, or they try to block their website specifically for some of the services like a new connections request. It was publicly available. The information is publicly available. So it is one of the attack. They made it to in May 7th or somewhere their website was down. Until 2 days back, it was not operational, completely operational. And the impact was almost 50,000 consumers were completely affected in getting new connections, and then the getting services what they wanted. Similarly, in the past, if you see, Ukraine power grid was completely targeted by Russian hackers, and they took control of their plant, and almost 230,000 consumers were left without power for some days. So this is this kind of consequences. And also there are multiple other instances like in Germany, one steel power plant was furnace was taken into control, and they made a physical damage to the entire plant. And colonial pipeline attack in US, which was like a oil and gas supply pipeline, which they took a control, and it the particular plant left supplying oil for, I mean, they left without any operations for a few days. That made it, that was the consequences were like the complete western region of eastern or western region of US was left without fuel supplies. So such kind of impact would be there for OT industry if they're affected if the cyber attack happens. So this is applicable to not only oil and gas, not only power sector or water sector. It is applicable to other industries like transportation or other sectors as well.
So would you qualify the IoT events also, IoT security? Like we are talking about the EV cars,
Yes.
and is it possible that someone can hack into an EV car and actually increase the speed and cause an accident, remotely control it? Is it possible? Would it qualify as a normal cyber IT cyber attack or an OT cyber attack or an IT IoT cyber attack?
It is definitely an IoT cyber attack because the devices inside the car is kind of IoT device. If it is connected to the internet, like it might be a normal car, but if the car is connected to the internet for getting like a centralized view or centralized monitoring of the performance of the car, and if they are trying to do that, then definitely it's an IoT device, and it has possibilities to get impacted by the cyber hackers, and definitely possible whatever you said, like controlling the speed of the car or doing whatever they want is definitely possible, unless there is no specific measuring or something, like the OEM, respective OEM has to take care of the such kind of incidents should not happen, or they should have some enough protection mechanisms for the owner of the car or the user of the car should be instructed with a certain protection mechanism to avoid such kind of incidents. But that is definitely possible if it is connected to the internet.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not very specific to just the EVs. It can be other smart cars also as well. Anything that
Yes.
is smart and connected. Now, bringing it to other side, we see the smart metering rollout, several smart meters getting deployed across country. Now, are they also vulnerable to these smart meters? Also vulnerable to direct attacks? I mean, can someone just shut my house down or a critical, shut down the electricity of a critical infrastructure through that smart meter?
Through smart meters, it is not possible to cut down the supply of the electricity entirely because smart meters are only read only. Like it will not have any operational capabilities. But still, if somebody can able to access to the smart meters, then the monetary value would be impacted. Like they can take control of the readings, whatever suppose government is trying to build to consumers, that they can manipulate and they can achieve kind of if for example, if a government is billing to consumers and all the consumers the reading is not correct, and if they're manipulating it, definitely the end value for the revenue for the entire government would be impacted, so from the specific consumers. That is one impact. But most of the utilities smart meters are not directly connected to the internet earlier, but nowadays all the smart meters, they are trying to connect it to their central monitoring solution, like a, load metering system from the central platform, and then they wanted to connect it to their like IT infrastructure, like ERP solutions, and then the consumers will have direct access to see what is the value of their consumption each and every day. So such kind of implementation will have vulnerability. Definitely, it is vulnerable to cyber attack. But I think it is not directly impacting the consumer's power supply cut down or something like that. Or but there are chances that they can manipulate the energy value. With that energy value, based on the demand, it can cut off the supply. So that is
Yeah,
possible.
they can manipulate it in terms of the load gets. I mean, it will show excessive
And yes,
load
it
or
may.
excessive units consumed more than what he is paid for, and it will trigger
Yeah.
a disconnection for possibly
Yes.
a disconnection for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Possibility for a disconnection as well as possibility for revenue impact to the government. So both are
yeah.
possible.
Now, bringing that to the other, I mean, it's a general question on the. Now we have these smart washing machines. I mean, Wi-Fi connected washing machines, Wi-Fi connected air conditioners, and how I know they're not on the directly on the OT side because this does not belong to an organization, but it's an asset which is internet connected within a residential premise. Are they also kind of vulnerable? I mean, can someone access my router, my Wi-Fi router, and through that, because all the apps reside on my mobile phone, and through that mobile phone, can they manipulate the temperature of my air conditioner or the thermostat of my washing machine, increase the temperature high so that it can are such attacks possible?
Yes, definitely it is possible. Since it is IoT devices, smart devices, which is already connected to internet. Your smart device like iPhone, it is definitely possible to hack. And similarly, if the washing machines or refrigerators, if it is connected to the internet or through your smart phone, then definitely the hackers can easily manipulate the data. Or they can easily take into control of the entire devices as well. What kind of consequences it is going to create, that I'm really slightly doubtful, being a residential consumer, but definitely it is possible to take it into control. If it is an industry, the consequences would be different, but if it is a residential units, the consequences would be different. But uh, in simple terms, it is possible to hack. They can easily take control.
All right. So on again coming back to the OT side of this, which critical infrastructure sectors are particularly vulnerable to that kind of security risks?
I would say mainly the power utility, power, water, and oil and gas sectors are in the highest vulnerability it has. The reason is each and every industry, each and every economic situation is because of the power supply and water supply. Water supply is mainly for the consumers' basic need, but power supply is driving everything. In even including your EV, including your computers, whatever the industrial plants, power supply is the main source of powering it. So that is one of the major vulnerable sources for the hackers, and followed by other sectors like transportation, oil and gas, followed by transportation, manufacturing sectors, and so on. So from my perspective, power sector, oil and gas, water, and then transportation and manufacturing sectors, and so on.
In your opinion, are organizations in India adequately addressing the OT security challenges? All of them? I mean, you mentioned these sectors.
Yes, it was not there maybe 5 years before. OT security was not in picture in India. Even some of the other countries, Western countries also, they did not implement OT security 5, 6 years before. Maybe 7, 8 years before. But Western countries, they started implementing cybersecurity a couple of years back. And now India, they are doing really great. Like they are trying to implement, they are trying to mandate and put specifications like OT security specifications. They are trying to build it with the help of CEA and Power Finance Corporation, and then they are mandating each and every utility in throughout India. They are trying to implement cybersecurity for the entire utilities for the power sector. Similarly, the same specification, same requirement, they are also mandating for other manufacturing and oil and gas plants. So now it is in specification stage, or it is in early stage of implementation, but for sure after next few years, most of the industries would be in middle of the, maybe it might have already implemented, or it might be in good shape. So currently most of the industries are vulnerable, but still they have taken very good step to implement cybersecurity as a mandated requirement. They put a specification and then they are doing great. So in a couple of years from now, definitely it would be in good shape.
So, our young these days, I hear from our young professionals who are getting worried about in terms of consequences of technology advancements in AI and quantum computing, and uh, I mean particularly about their career. So, what would be your advice to these young professionals interested in pursuing a career in the OT security? I mean, what should they be learning? How should they be practicing their honing their skills? Kind of advice to them.
If you see current trend, quantum computing or artificial intelligence is going in massive way. So most of the industries, they are focusing mainly to they wanted to lead artificial intelligence from each and every perspective. But when you consider artificial intelligence, uh, each and every sector, including power sector and all other sectors, they are trying to use AI for some value addition, some enhancements, operational efficiency to enhance the operational efficiency, and so on. So when AI comes into picture, equally we have threats as well. So if AI is there, if somebody is misusing the AIs, then the consequences would be really disastrous. So when AI grows, when other industries grows, definitely security for that is also equally it is growing. Otherwise, it will be like a disastrous for the manufacturers as well as consumers. So I would say from my perspective, IT cybersecurity, there are a lot of people, but OT security is in demand now. And in future also, IoT security and OT security will be in need because AI is growing. And when AI is growing, automatically data centers and then power supply demand will be huge in the future. And EV cars also growing now. So definitely power sector will be booming. And if power sector is booming, threats, if AI is booming, definitely threats will also equally booming. So for sure, OT security and IoT security, people will be in need. There will be huge demand for the people who has OT security knowledge. So I would recommend to take as a like a this OT security and IoT security as a their career choice, and it would really help them in the future.
So how do they learn? Where will they learn? I mean, are there uh, some advice on that? That how do they get into this space?
I would recommend approaching cybersecurity companies to be part of an internship role. Like they can join as an interns. Like even like we are from cybersecurity company and we hire interns for training people. Similarly, whoever is having a career path, they don't have to be a cybersecurity professional from day one, but they can choose their electronics or whatever their wish. And like parallelly, they can also pursue a career in cybersecurity if they're interested. If they're interested in cybersecurity, if they're interested in computers, if they're interested in programming and so on. Similarly, for cybersecurity development, cybersecurity products development, and so on, there is equally challenging roles, and they can go for internship roles. And also, there are a lot of certification courses offered by many global giants. So they can also pursue such kind of certification courses as well.
Thank you, Rajendran, for your insight and your time today. So, this is definitely not the last one. So, what we're going to do is further get into the depth of each of the topics in cybersecurity, and subsequently, maybe I will request you on some more sessions to come and give your views and insight on the topics that we will choose going forward. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, Vinod. Really
And the
great.
introduction profile, I'll put the in the video, along with the video I'll put the profiles, the LinkedIn profile, so that people, our viewers, can reach out, you
Sure.
know, to if they need any further sessions or any support or anything. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. My pleasure. Thank you.